Okay, today I'm going to be talking about the Pentair Rebel. This possibly may be your problem. It may be this little culprit right here. This was like 25 bucks. It's a Pentair product. I would suggest buying one that's from Pentair. Anyway, let's disconnect the hose, get right to it. Alright, just going to open it up here. Put that to one side, lay this to one side. And if you look inside here, you'll be able to see like a space between these gears, where it's worn. You can see how wobbly it is. It's very, very, very worn out. So I'm assuming that that's the problem, because I did already replace these gears here and some other things I replaced, but it did not fix the problem. So first of all, we are going to take 5 millimeter Allen wrench. Let's take this off, and we're going to need to take this other side off too. Easier said than done, right? So what I can do is I can take this this Allen wrench. I've put a stop in here because this shaft seemed to be moving back and forth, and this screw got broken off. So I put like a dowel shaft in here. So I'm gonna have to take that out of there. So I'm gonna pause for a minute so I can get some tools for that. Okay, I am back. Let me tell you what this thing was doing to make me kind of think that it wasn't these. It was kind of going around in a circle. It would not go over to the deep end, so it didn't have a lot of power. And it's because this thing wasn't driving properly. And you can see it's very, very loose in here. All these other gears look pretty good. So anyway, I'm gonna take this drift pin out of here. So I'll drift it this way first to get this this little piece of dowel rod that I've put in here, right there, to kind of plug it up to keep it from moving around. And then I'll just shove this pin over. Be aware of your orientation here. Very important. At the gears, there's a little shaft. As you're looking at it from the clip side, it's on the left. So your gears and the little shaft is on the left. Okay, there we go. You gotta definitely keep in mind these gears here as you're pulling this out. They did give me another shaft, so I'm going to replace that because that looks a little worn as well. So let's just pop this out. You can see how terrible that is. I don't know if you can see that compared to that. I mean, that is worn. Look at the difference. I don't know if that's going to come out, but that's a substantial difference. So remember, this goes on this side. I'm going to put this back in. Yeah, we got to keep these things rolling, man. They're very expensive to replace. And this has been a good unit. It just needs maintenance now and then. Yeah, you might have to, I don't know if you saw that, but I had to, at the very end, let's see, can I see that? Yeah. At the very end, this cam runs on a spring. So you might have to push that in to get that that shaft through there at the very end. And let me put this, I'll drift this pin in like so, and stick this piece of wood in here, which looks like it's getting a little soggy. So it won't go further out that way. I did put a piece of tape around here to kind of keep it, because it was starting to wobble there too. So I'll just take that out. Hopefully that new shaft will work. If not, I'll have to replace that too. But anyway, all right, that's pretty much done, and you can see how much tighter that is. That's really tight in there. So the way we put it back together is these wheels don't really matter. I do recommend rotating them every so often because of the gears inside here get pretty worn over time. Kind of like rotating your tires. Whoops. Just give it a nice snug fit. Nothing too drastic. There. And as we're looking towards, with the clip in the front, this comes out towards you. The clasp is in the back. You have to, this is funny, you got to stick it in through this hole and then tilt it up a little bit to get it inside. And it's a little tricky doing it. And there we go. I'll give you a video and see how it works a little later. Okay, after some frustration, I did cut it with scissors to get a sharper edge on here. But as you can see, I've finally got that little sleeve in there. And I just keep turning it until it seats down in there. And then you want to seat the shaft. Still going in a circle, isn't it? Okay, after replacing the turbine, that did not work. So after closer inspection of this thing, I found out that these gears here on this wheel are worn pretty bad, and that's what locks. When this cam meets up with this piece down in here, it pushes it over, and that's what drives the unit. I have had this cam wear down as well. I've had to replace it before, but I measured it, so I got new wheels with new bearings. Here's another thing also that you want to check out for is, see all that play? That's wear. And these are tight, so we're gonna change these and maybe we can get something to run here. Okay, after installing the new wheels, as you can tell, the tires come off easy. I mean, it's self-explanatory on how the tires come on and off. There you go, right there. You just peel them off, stick the other ones back on. That's not a big deal. If you notice there's no play in that at all. So we're going to stick this back together and see if we can't get this thing running. I've replaced just about every frigging thing on here so far, so it should run. She's even climbing the walls again. Right, the way you can tell your creepy crawler is working or not, you can see that's the turn. You just want to make sure that if something was wrong, you would be able to spin these wheels freely when either one was turning. Like this is tracking straight. Yep. You can't stop either one. Now you don't want to press hard, just want to give it a little resistance.